Yeah, I was joking with the fiance over there. A couple of tanks in the picture. All right, guys. So in the last video, we set up the sump for this tank. Now we're actually going to start building or setting up the stand, the tank. You have to I've already put the tank on the piece of wood. What are you laughing at? Look at her.
No.
Haha. Now she's on YouTube. Look, she's YouTube famous. Oh, she's YouTube famous too. Anyway, there's the stand. Everything's marked. We're going to show you real quick. Crayola marker. This is not permanent, just rubs right off. So if you get it on your hands or tank or anything, just rubs right off, no big deal. This is what I use to mark the tank on the piece of wood you're about to see. So let me flip this around and show you where we're drilling, what we're using, equipment and that kind of stuff, and then we're actually going to get into start setting the tank up. Alright, so you guys see the holes that I drilled there. This is actually the drain side, the return side to the sump. So this goes down here. Oh look, here she comes. She wants to be YouTube famous. She's running away. And then the line that you see there, that's what we have to cut all the way down. And then for the return side, the return to the tank, this is circled out. So we're going to take a hole saw and actually cut this out. Now, let me show you what kind of hole saw we had to use. This is a 2-inch bulkhead. This thing's a big monster, right? That is a 5-inch hole saw. So the inside of this may be 2 inches, but the outside is huge. So 5-inch hole saw is what we're going to use to cut all these holes. You guys can see some of the bulkheads and stuff that we're going to be using. These strainers right here are actually going to go on the drain side. So we're going to have 2 of these set up, both with strainers. And yeah, that's going to be the drain going down to the sump, attached to the other bulkhead. You guys saw these are the same 2-inch. And then we're going to have brakes in that. When we get to the bottom, just a simple brake. In case I ever need to move anything or take it apart, all I have to do is just pull this side off, and I don't have to cut the PVC to fix anything. So there's the equipment that we're going to use on this bad boy. Kind of laid out. And I still need to get another 2-inch bulkhead. Unfortunately, the place I went to today didn't have any. So I'm going to probably pick that up on Monday from an irrigation supply company. And then we can get this bad boy running. As far as the third hole down there, the one on the right, maybe the center one, I haven't decided yet. I am going to plug one of these. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be the center one. It's just going to be capped off. So the reason that I'm capping that off is I don't need 3 drains. I only need 2. So that third one right there, we're going to get rid of it. Well, possibly. We'll see how it all works out. But most likely we're just going to get rid of it. And then on the return side, I'm only going to use one of these, but you still have to have the 2 bulkheads because I already had 2 holes drilled in the tank. It was like that when I bought it. So I am going to cap one of these off. That's why you see the caps sitting here. These guys, this one, and I don't know where the other one went. It's around here somewhere. So the caps that we're going to use, we're just going to cap those off because I'm only going to have one line coming up to feed all that water. And we're going to use just a simple elbow to direct it, so we can kind of, shoot it to the side, straight, middle, whatever we want to do. This one right here will be, I'll be able to move this around, kind of put the flow where I want to put it. So anyway, this is the equipment that we're going to use for now, and I'm going to get started on the tank. Alright, so the boy's marking the holes. What we're going to do is just double this up. So we're going to have 2 of these. It'll be 1.5 inches thick. That's what the tank's going to sit on. I decided not to go with the 2x4s rather. So all he's doing is just tracing this out. And And if it's not enough to hold the weight, then I've got another one sitting right there that we'll use, and it'll be 2.25 inches basically. So now that we've got them all marked out, both sides, holes, we're going to go ahead and just take the top one off and then cut the bottom one out. Then these two will just lay one on top of the other. Alright, so a couple of things. Decided to move the tank, and we also decided to go back and use the 2x4s. You guys can see the sump underneath. You guys saw in the last video how we built the sump. So we're going to go ahead and use the 2x4s to support the center, make sure it doesn't bow. Those gaps that are there are going to be just fine. So we're going to lay both of the boards that we cut on top, and then we're going to lay the tank on top of that. Everything is already mapped out, so all we have to do is just get the boards up here, get the tank up here, and then start setting her up. So I needed a break. It's getting there. I'm getting it cleared up. But we are using the Novus. That's part 3, part 2, part 1. So I've done all 3. You guys can see can't quite see all the way through. It's not really clear yet. I'm wondering if I'm going to have to re-sand this thing, which is what it looks like right now. But whatever. We'll get it figured out. So sump's already under there. We did use the 2x4s like I said, plus the 2 3/4 inch boards that go from end to end. You guys can see in here, got the wood cut, so I can just stick the bulkheads right in. And then the same thing on this side, use the hole saw for that. So, boom, that part's done. I do need to plug these holes still. Just going to use some plexiglass and then just silicone it to it, clean that off real quick, and then silicone the plexiglass on there to cover those holes. I'm not real sure why they put the holes in there. Still a bit confused about that because your weir's up there. So with the weir being at the top, your water level, if you had it down there, would only be as high as what your overflows are. So if your overflows are sit down there, like one that I saw, I mean it's missing like 4 inches of water. So bit weird, different. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't think I am, but you would think the water would fill up from the bottom and come up to the top. I may be wrong, but there is plexiglass in here that's just kind of siliconed on, and I'm assuming they use that to block the weirs, which is what it looks like. So I'm really confused as to why they set this up this way. But it is what it is. It'll come along. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. We're just polishing away. This tank's pretty scratched up and beat up, so, this is not an easy project. I was hoping to be a little bit easier than it is. But I'm only going to sand the front just to get a clear view, and then the back side we're going to kind of leave that smoky look, and the rest of it actually. So we're going to do the front face right here. We're going to buff all of that out, and then that. It's kind of cool because when I come over here, and I know there's a bunch of stuff in the way, but I get a cool view of my tank from the side. So you guys will be able to check that out. And then we got the 120 in the background. Just to give you a comparison, that tank back there is 5 feet long. Yeah, that's a 5-foot tank, and this thing is 3 by 8. So pretty large. Anyway, guys, we'll get the rest of those tanks set up, I don't know, in the next few videos. So just wanted to kind of go through this and show you where I'm at, what I'm doing, how we're going to set this tank up. We'll get into the plumbing and all that stuff soon. So did move the tank. I told you the guys that earlier. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk to y'all later. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the button right there. It says subscribe right there. It's a red one. Just go click, click. And also check us out on Facebook. It is Psychotic Aquatics. YouTube. You're going to search it. Don't mind the algae on the tank. A little bit on the glass there. So anyway, Psychotic Aquatics YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. And want to thank you guys for watching. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Don't worry, I'm going to give you a rundown on this tank scene. Say bye. You can say bye today because you're pretty coral. Yeah. Little torch running. Alright guys, later.